Hi all. Right, welcome back to more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign. So this is part 34. I didn't think I was going to come back up tonight. I'm a bit worn out, but I did have to come back up and copy the part across on my tablet as I do and upload it to YouTube. And I was sitting there thinking of things, and a few comments come in from Jean, which quite deep and heavy. I glanced at them, Jean, but I'll give them a bit better attention tomorrow. Um, yeah. I'll just leave it all. Don't think there was nothing mentioned as major sort of mistakes as such. Maybe some things I was talking about that might not have been quite right, but I'll look into that more tomorrow. I think that'd be better. But I did sort of decide in the end, why not? Let's just try and do one more part for the night. Maybe we'll see where it goes. Uh, so yeah, things got a bit strange all of a sudden. Um, Regarding Iraq and Syria, the sales travelling to Syria, it looks like it's going to be kind of straightforward. That Syria is going to um, go regime. How? What is the? Oh, is it just the weapons of mass destruction? Yeah, that's the only difference to the mat, isn't it? Yeah, which is a pretty big deal. But yeah, it looks quite possible that we're going to get two more weapons of mass destruction into the mix. But in some ways, it means that we're going to survive the game. However, it's my turn right now, and I'm in a position where I can regime change again. All that carry on, back to hard, and all that nonsense. So I'm just sort of wondering now if I should maybe do it in Somalia, but because yeah, because if I do it in Pakistan, they take Syria, that's three, and if they were to then take Iraq, that's six. Whereas if I take Somalia, they're sitting with four, and then Iraq makes it seven. So it's not much a difference here. We've got these two troops here, which can be allowed right now, but when it becomes regime change, remember, I've got to leave five more troops in cells, and the fact that there's six cells there, I'd be bringing six. Yeah, I'm leaving troop. I'm leaving one troop on the track because I think I might use this for my last card, which basically takes the troop off map for. And if this is my last card, it's going to be end of turn anyway. And I get +2 prestige. And obviously, I'm going to do this after the regime change, which involves a prestige roll, which you never know, we might get lucky with it. It's down at 1 anyway. And we don't necessarily need to move back to soft. That's the thing. I mean, soft, while the global war on terror is here sitting in the middle, that's good. And we've already found out that the main differences in operations is with soft, you can do a withdraw action, but not a regime change, and with hard, you can do a regime change, but not a withdraw action. Yeah. So I don't think there's a necessity to have to move back, which is kind of good because 2 3 ops cards every time we do it. Um. Yeah, so it's my turn. I think they've still got 3 cards left though as well. But yeah, we start with 7 cards, don't we? So I think, if I put 6 cells in here, and remember this ends up going ally. Um, so 6 against 3. 2 of these are active. We do an operation in their to remove the 2 of them, and then we're sitting with 6 against 1. We could start messing about with War of Ideas. It's not there. It's adjacent to a good ally, Afghanistan, as well. I don't know. Yeah, the fact it's a 2-pointer as well. Maybe I should just stick by that and go Pakistan. Because if I do go down here, I've got a lot of work taking out these cells, which is always good for prestige. I get that. But maybe just leave that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Pakistan, actually. I think so. Right, so my turn. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to play... I need to play 3 ops. The other thing is, you sort of don't need to... You could play these cards out, Grant, and keep it till the next turn. Is that starting to sound silly? Because every card I've got in my hands beneficial to me, I think. Play 2 Awakening and 1 reaction marker in Egypt. Okay. And 1 Awakening marker in any other country which does not already have one. That's pretty good. And this is if US play in a fair 2 or 3 resource country, place 1 Awakening marker or shift alignment 1 box towards ally. So in a fair 2 or 3 resource, I think I looked at this already. We've got 4 fair countries. That's a 2. Okay, that's a 1, but it's ally anyway, but I couldn't place that. And that's a 3, Gulf States, and that's a 3 as well. So either one of the 3 countries, or even here, I can still target Jordan. It's just I can't do the shift ally because it's already ally, but I could place 1 Awakening marker or shift alignment 1 box towards ally. I don't know, maybe the Awakening marker would be better. And then a Ebola Scare, well, I was going to keep and play that anyway because I've already, well, I think I just already said about it. I mean, I've got 7 troops up in the track, but I was thinking if I'm using 6 for the regime change, I'll use the last card play for that to boost my prestige. And with a bit of luck, my prestige might be up a bit already, and then if we get lucky with the die roll from the regime change, yeah, maybe I should just go with the regime change and play it safe. And well, I mean, technically, I suppose. Well, no, the bot's is going to concentrate on doing the major jihad first, Grant. Well, you could straight up get 1 card regime major jihad in there with the -2 reaction. They're probably going to get that, and then with the second card, start working on Iraq, and before you know it, you're under the hammer again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm still going to just have to plod away, I suppose. Yeah, let's just go for the regime change. While your prestige is at 1 as well, and then you could play that Ebola Scare to boost it up. Okay, I'm gonna do that, I think. So I'm gonna play this for just the 2 ops, put in reserves, and then play this for ops, and use the reserves for 3 ops to do a regime change in Pakistan, I think. Yeah, let's go for it. Pakistan, yeah. I want to just try and no mess about. Have a part here before my bed and then see what's what. See what's what in the morning. Okay, so regime change Pakistan, Islamist rule. Must be hard, use 3 ops, done that. Deploy 6+ troops. I'm just deploying 6, leaving 1 on the track. That drops my, sorry, I know you've not seen this, but that drops my troops marker back into overstretch. Pakistan, 6 troops. My troops seem to be very busy right now. Well, they've been busy all game, haven't they, really? Just moving about, trying to take things back. All sails, all sails to active. Yeah, I was forgetting that other one, going to go active anyway. Right, all sails to active. That's not the marker I'm wanting. Regime change. What is it? There we go. All sails to active. Shift to ally. We've got to roll for governance. Place a green regime change. I'll just do that just now. And then we'd roll for prestige. So this is, we're going to go ally, but is it poor ally or is it fair ally? That is determined by a die roll. So 1 to 4, it's poor. 5 to 6, it's fair. Yeah, good. We get fair. We got a fair ally, Pakistan. So that's nice. Yeah. If only we could start working on making them good and things. Maybe at some point. Right, hang on then. Something happens there, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. So it's a regime change country. It went from Islamist rule to fair. Does that affect? I mean, the governance is not. It's not an improvement in governance, is it? I don't think that does anything, does it? What are the terms I'm looking for? Is it convergence or disengagement? Every time a country improves its governance one level for whatever reason, remove one and make a marker present. This isn't the case here, is it? And in convergence, each time a country becomes either good or Islamist rule. Yeah, neither of these things have happened, have they? Here. Even though I rolled and it became fair, not poor, that's not what happened. This was a regime change operation. I think that's a different thing, yeah. That's not affected. I don't think so anyway. So, yeah, and then we're going to roll for prestige. Well, actually, we've got a couple of adjustments to make. Right. You know what, I'll just look out there on the map. So just double checking. Poor Islamist rule. We've only got one Islamist rule at the moment, Somalia. Shortly to be 2, I think. But so, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm seeing 9 poor countries in Islamist rule. That would mean that drops back down to 10, which I think is right, because we've just changed one Islamist rule to fair. So my guess is fair good countries should go up by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and it's at 5, so yeah. If you do that right away, you shouldn't have to count them all the time, Grant, but I suppose I just like to double check, triple check, quadruple check. Right, and then resource-wise, we're still just sitting with the 1 good, but they're now dropped down to 1. They just lost an R2 there, so they're down to 1 as well. So, yeah, I mean, that looks much better for us, but what's out here? I don't know, I mean, yeah, maybe I'm thinking worse of things than need be, I don't know. Just feel like we're going to lose an R2 here. Yeah, and then them sending a country to Islamist rule does kick in that, what was it I just read? Is that the one that's convergence? Each time a country becomes, Islamist rule, you're going to roll on them random Muslim country table and put a reaction marker out there, and then of course end of turn this is going to get another reaction marker because there's 2 there, and they're starting to spread an awful lot of them about, you know. There's 2 and this 1, although when that goes to Slam Show they'll go away, won't they? Yeah, that's the other thing with that, I suppose. Right, let's get this prestige roll then. Let's see if we can finish the night off on a little bit of a high with a successful prestige roll. Right, you can see there's no penalty. So again, 1 to 4 is going to drop, which means nothing. 5 to 6 is going to rise. Yeah, one of the comments I noticed John had made was regarding some activity in Egypt when my prestige should have been at 4, and that's when I'd made that mistake. He was just pointing out that it would have been much better. I can't remember exactly, but like I say, I'll look over the comments. There was quite a lot there. I've not got around to doing much replying to any of your comments, guys, but if I don't, as long as I talk about them here, hopefully you're okay with that. I know it might sound a bit lazy of me to do that, but it's just they can build up. Lots and lots of comments can build up, and then I'm definitely going to talk about them here when you mention them. But as for then sitting down at the computer and typing out responses as well, which I've already spoken about, you know. But I will try. So yeah, prestige roll. So 1 die. We're wanting a 5 or a 6. There's no modifiers. So this would be nice. Come on. Nah, not to be. Right, so it would drop. It's at 1. There's no point rolling the 2 dice. Okay. That was my 2 card play actually, wasn't it? Because I had to put reserves and all that. So I've still got a bowl of scare left. So I could potentially play that for event and get my prestige up to 3. And yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the bot does for his last. Well, he's got 3 cards left. Right, that was our 2 card plays. So they were both played for ops. They go away. Yeah, another one quickly regarding the events instruction. Not the events instructions. The event descriptions that I was reading out that I've got on my tablet. Jean also commented, and I think I came across one already actually, that although the card was in the base game, the event description is slightly different. Things have changed up a bit. So I think I forgot, I was going to read that. I skipped over the martyrdom operation, I think, because I think I've seen 2 of them go by. And then one was quite recent, so I didn't read the event. So I'll maybe go and have a look at that again, but maybe tomorrow, rather than faff about that. Well, to be honest, I might have to go and get my tablet for the event thing anyway. I was, again, going to try and print out the pages today, but again, I never got around to it, so. Okay. Right, on with the bot. Like it says, 3 cards left, so let's get his next 2 cards. Okay, Cyber Warfare. It's a 1-ops unassociated card. Set your opponent's reserves to 0. Right, hang on, 202. Just reading that right away. 202. Set post. Right, okay. There is some instruction, but let's finish off. Set your opponent's reserves to 0. Mine's are at 0. And add the value lost to your reserves. Right, so we get nothing out of that. Right, okay. Or select posture of either China, Russia, or India. Oh, this is going to be bad, isn't it? Or place or remove a cadre. Okay. Right, it's got a priority here of what it's wanting to do. What is it? 202. Cyber Warfare. So set posture if World Global War on Terror marker would move, else reserves if any. Well, he's not getting any of my reserves. I'm not going any. Set posture if World Global War on Terror marker would move. Yeah, and they always set the posture to the opposite of me. So, yeah, this is bad, isn't it? I'm going to end up with the penalty now. So, how do I select? It didn't give me a priority to the country, did it? Select posture of either China, Russia, or India. So how do I break that one down? So China's hard. And remember, we are hard. So yeah, I'd be quite happy to change China to soft. Which is going to be horrible. That's a two-way shift as well, isn't it? Select posture of either China, Russia, or Russia's soft. So I wouldn't want to take that. Oh no, no, I wouldn't want to change that. Yeah, or India. India's hard as well. So yeah, it's either going to change China or India to soft, I guess. Set your opponent's reserve to 0 and add the value lost to your reserves. Or select posture of either China, Russia, or India. Yeah, and then the thing it says set posture. If war of global war on terror marker would move, well, it will. So it's going to do that. Should I be flowcharting this to decide between? So it's not going to pick Russia because that would be setting it to hard. And if it stayed at soft, if it's selected and stayed at soft, that wouldn't move, and it needs to move. So it needs to be one of these two. I'm not sure which one. Well, let's see if we can. I mean, I know it talks about when you're moving, when the bot's changing governance. Use the jihad column of the priorities table. So could this be? Oh, this might be different. That's alignment of governance. Well, this is posture we're trying to deal with, isn't it? Recruiting or placing cells. Removing troops. Choosing troops, militia, and cells. Oh, hang on. There we go. Is it not in here? So setting or rolling for posture. Right, give me a second. Right, she's still barking, but I shut the door there. So setting or rolling for posture. When an event instructs to set, select, or roll for posture. Right, hold on a minute here. What is the difference between set and select? Right? I mean, there must be a difference because it's instructing to set, select, or roll for posture. So these are three different things. Okay? This card says select posture. So that's one of the three things. And what was the other bit I wanted to look? Yeah, the event instructions. This says set posture. So what's the difference between select and set? And don't get me wrong, I thought there was a difference, and I was talking about that earlier in the playthrough. But well, the best place to search for that would probably be on the digital rules, wouldn't it? Because I'm sure I looked already. You know, usually you'd have, is there not a sort of glossary of terms in the rules, Grant? I think there is at the back, is there not? Yeah, here we are, glossary and index. Set's not there. Select's not there. And, well, roll's not there either. But, posture's there. 4.3.2. I don't think I'm going to find this, because I looked for this already. I mean, I know what roll for posture is. Okay, I've got that. But what's the difference between set and select? I mean, are they not just the same thing? They sound like the same thing. 4.3.2, right? Talking about posture, I'm not seeing the word set or select or that there. Right, let me go and have a wee search through the digital rules for these words. And that could maybe bring up quite a few finds, but hang on. Right, okay, almost thought I was coming away with nothing there. However, the very last search, I looked up the glossary and index there for the base game rulebook. And well, this was a bit daft, really, wasn't it? Because this event and this event instructions table is for the new expansion. So, and what do you know? There's a glossary and index for that expansion too. And what do you know? It has select, it has set. Maybe it doesn't have roll, but I think we know what that is. So select, choosing a country. Choosing a country via bot instructions, or choosing the value that a country will take by event play, such as selecting a country to become hard, or choosing a specific card from the discard or removed cards pile. And then set, adjusting a country to a predetermined value by event play, such as set to neutral. They sound slightly similar to what we're doing. Is there any difference to how... I don't think there is there? I mean, set, adjusting a country, to a predetermined value, where select, choosing a country via bot instructions, or choosing the value that a country will take by event play, such as selecting a country to become hard. Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm still not any wiser on that, I don't think. They still feel like they're the same thing to me. And maybe in this case they are. Okay, what was that I was reading there? And yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's in the rules. I stopped reading halfway through it. Well, that's not like you, Grant. So posture. Setting a roll in for posture. Yeah. I didn't finish reading that because I got stumped. At least I don't think I did. Maybe I did read it all, right? So setting a roll in for posture. When an event instructs to select a roll for posture. Yeah, I think this is why I stopped. The jihadist bot always selects countries with the same posture of the US, then unmarked, and always sets posture to the opposite of US posture. So, posture. Okay. It's still not telling me where to decide between China and India here. That's not helping me look. I want I'm looking at a flowchart, priorities table. Place on removing markers. It's not really what I'm doing. Alignment of governance. I mean, I could maybe sort of say let's look down the jihadist column, but or are we going to find it? Is it the case that we've got two hard countries? They're both, we can both set them the opposite of the US and we just randomise between the two? It doesn't feel... When an event instructs to set select a row for posture, jihadist bot always selects countries with the same posture of the US. Yeah, that's what we're doing. They're both hard. Then are marked and always sets posture to the opposite of the US posture. So yeah, I've not got a problem switching either China or India to soft. Well, I say I've not got a problem with it, but yeah, it's annoying. But I'm just not sure if I should be trying to break it down through tables or flowcharts, or if I should just be randomizing it. And I don't know, this is not something. I mean, if you look at the priorities table, we've got jihad, marker, alignment, governance. I mean, that's as close as I can sort of come, but there's nothing that talks about posture, is there? No. And I wouldn't sort of know, I can guess at what flowchart or table to go down. I mean, the best guess I would have would be the jihad one, because it's involving alignment and governance, but that's just me kind of guessing, really. That's a shame it doesn't have, because there's only a couple of paragraphs down and it talks about alignment and governance. Which are kind of similar things, you know? I don't feel comfortable with just going with that. Well, why don't you look at that and see what happens? China and India, right? One's fair and one's good. That's basically all you've got, really. So that might be what it's based on. So if we're coming down here, so China and India, one's fair, one's good. So no. Resources they don't have, no troops, no. Most cells adjacent to Islamist rule, oil exporter. Well, actually, India was just recently adjacent to Islamist rule, but I don't think that's relevant. But it was. I mean, if Pakistan was still Islamist rule right now, India's adjacent to it, would we have picked that over that? But it's not, so we don't find anything there. I mean, I'm not going to go down the other columns. Well, I'm probably going to find one that talks about poor then fair then good. I don't know. Yeah. In fact, the recruit and travel 2 column there would be no. And then that would be poor then fair then good, which would select China. And then if we were to look at the plot column, no. Over the other side now. So we're neutral. Right, neutral. Right, these are new. I've not seen the Baziz regime. No. Adjacent good ally. No. I don't think we should be looking here. Fair non-Muslim. Well, where they go. China. So that selects China as well. So 2 of them have went China. Another one didn't get anything, although I said India, if that was still Islamic show, but it's not. I mean, the travel from, travel from is going to be poor then fair then good as well. So every one of the tables except the jihad one selects China, and the jihad one doesn't pick between the 2. But that really doesn't make me feel any more comfortable about deciding between the 2. I feel probably like we should just be rolling the die here. And on the other side here. And the snag is, I don't think I'm going to find an answer to this. Well, I suppose I should look. So setting posture or selecting posture or maybe even just looking for this card. Right, give me a minute. Right, interestingly, there is one question out there on BGG when I typed in the card. What's the card again? Oh, I've left it up on my computer. Give me a second. And it was a similar situation. I've not got the question up there in front of me, but it sounded like, to be honest, he was asking the question, I think, I want to say the US was hard and his situation was the world was soft too or something. And his question was, which way does it want it to move it? I mean, surely it wants to move it that way. And I think he concludes that that's what it is. But the answer, the reply he got was from somebody saying, check war of ideas in a non-Muslim country. But there's nothing in there that gives me anything. And then there was a follow-up question asking the same question. And then he says, do I just randomise between the two? I think he ended up with something similar where we've got two. And he couldn't obviously couldn't, like me, I couldn't break it down. But there was no more reply to that. So I think I'm just going to go for let's randomise between the two. You know what I mean? I don't think it really matters. I mean, one is a good country and a fair country, so this is easier to mess with for me. But, you know what, as in I can pay one ops to do something there where I need to pay two ops there, but you know, I'm not finding anything that's telling me that. And like I've said, it's the opposite. If I look down four of the four priority tables. Out of three of the four of them, it ends up with that, and the other one ends up with neither. So, but that doesn't, like I say, I don't feel comfortable about that being the answer. Okay, I'm just going to randomise then between the two. But if you know, guys, let me know. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3 China, 4, 5, 6 India. Right, so we've got a 5, so it is going to be India, which is a bit of a bummer because, like I say, going down every table it was going to select China. However, let's just go with that. I'm not so sure it's awfully important, but I would like to know if there's something written somewhere that says how we pick between the two. I mean, it does in the rules say that you can't break things down, you do randomise, but it's just strange. Most of the time you're looking down through a priorities table. Well, to be honest, the one priorities table that I thought was probably the right one would have been the jihad one, and we didn't get an answer to that one, so that would have been a roll of the dice, and we've rolled the dice and it's ended up being India. So let's just stick with that. But by all means, yeah, please let me know. So India's went from hard to soft, which means that this is going down 2, isn't it? And I shouldn't need to go and work it out, but it was hard. I still feel like the need to count them up. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm seeing 7 soft, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hard. Does that compute? It does, yeah. Okay, so that's right. So now we've got a -2 global war and terror penalty. Thanks to cyber warfare. Oh, did I read the event? No, I didn't. Where's my right? Okay, right. Well, they're playing that for the event. Yeah. Okay. Okay, 202 Cyber Warfare. Undoubtedly, any future expansions to the series will have a lot more documented events on this theme. The card is designed to show in-game board effects what would be achieved through clandestine cyber warfare. Ah, interesting. Okay. Actually, while I'm there, so here's Martyrdom Operation and the Awakening event descriptions. There's only one of the cards in the deck. 190 Martyrdom Operation, perhaps one of the most powerful jihadist event cards in the game. I dropped the quantity from the 3 cards contained in original Labyrinth to the one in this expansion, primarily because there are many more Awakening cards that I think that should be said, that provide plots as a mechanic of their event. And he's got reference 87 to 89. Oh, is that the old Martyrdom cards? So interesting. Yeah, there's just a bit. It's not really an event text as such. It's just Trevor's thoughts on why he's only put one of these cards in, whatever. Okay, good stuff. Right, so they played Cyber Warfare. Hacker penetrates key systems. Now, just before we go from that, though, let's just read through that again. Set your opponent's reserves to 0 and add the value to lost to the reserves, or select posture of either China, Russia, or India. That's what we've done. Or place or remove a cadre. Well, in the event instructions table there, it says set posture if World Global War on Terror marker would move. So that's what we've done, because it did move by 2. Now, if it moved by 1, that would have been fine as well, but the only choice was to pick China or India, and that was always going to move it by 2. Else, reserves if any. So if it wasn't that, it was going to get reserves if any. And there's no mention there of placing or removing a cadre, interestingly. So, if you weren't getting any reserves, and if you weren't moving the Global War on Terror table with setting any of these... actually, is that not impossible? Is it not impossible? Surely selecting one of them would have to make it possible to move that track. Wouldn't it? Because they're either set to the same as the US or set to the opposite. Well, hang on, if they were all set opposite the US, yeah, that's true. If China, India, and Russia were all hard, no, that doesn't work. If they were all soft, then it wouldn't move it. Yeah, if they were all soft, let's just say that it was sitting there and they 3 countries were all soft. Well, if I was to say it hard, it's going to go like that. So it is going to move that. But surely, set posture if World Global War on Terror marker would move. Surely that doesn't compute. But right, that's down there now. The thing is, that's what would happen if they were all soft. It would only be able to move that way, which I don't know. That doesn't sound like it would want to do it. So I guess what I'm asking is, if it can't move the track and it can't get reserves, there's no mention of it. I wouldn't want to remove a cadre. Remember, this is a unassociated card, so if we were playing this, we would be selecting China, Russia, or India's posture to suit the US, you know, obviously. Or maybe grabbing their reserves. But yeah, it just sounds like the bot is not interested in placing a cadre out of that lot. So I don't know if it comes to it and that was the only option, that it would just play it for the one ops. Yeah, I'll leave that one with you. Okay, so we played that. That was our first card play. Right, I'm going to wrap things up. No, you can probably end the turn, can you? No, they've got 2 more cards left. Yeah, this is a wee bit. I was away. I had a couple of beers, so you probably noticed I'm a wee bit more sluggish here. And things dragging on a bit. Yeah, that's one card. Right, let's get our second. Hey, now almost forgot again. Unassociated event. They played it for the event. They've only got 1 ops, but now they've got 2. 1 reserves. Now they've got 2. So right, let's get our second card. Right, here we go. Yeah, I might just leave this last card till tomorrow, I think, because we've got 1 as well, and then you go to the end of turn stuff. Right, there might be something towards this as well. Okay, another unassociated 2 ops card. Am I right in saying there seems to be more unassociated cards, or which isn't a bad thing, but feels like there's more anyway, but maybe not. So Ayman al-Zawahiri. Yeah, we've seen the Zawahiri before, haven't we? So if jihadists -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers or fraction thereof on the map. Well, my prestige is at 0, so there might be nothing on the table for this, but it's not going to do anything for them, is it? So I think it's 2 ops. 219. No, there's nothing there. I'm not so happy about seeing all these cards that want to like smash my prestige down. Not that they're like getting to it, because I'm doing that myself. Well, I'm not doing it myself, but so -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when it says reaction markers, I'm assuming a -2 means that that's 2 markers. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that, I think. I'm pretty sure it might tell you in the rules that a -1, because I mean, this is -2, but you could technically have 2 -1s there, so 2 markers. So if it's a -2, then it counts for 2 markers, surely. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6. Yeah, I'm seeing 6, so that would just be 1, wouldn't it? -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers or fraction thereof. Yeah, well, I mean, 6 is like, that's like -1.5, isn't it? But there's no talk of rounding up or down there, but or fractions thereof. -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers. I'm not understanding when it's saying or fraction thereof. And I don't like fractions and breaking numbers down to a silly place. Well, the thing is, my prestige is at 1, so it's going to do nothing, right? So we're going to have 2 ops. If somebody wants to comment on, give me an example of what that means. I mean, I've got 6 reaction markers. I can only think that gives -1 prestige. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's meaning something else. Okay, so 2 ops then. So not playing for the event. Right, so yeah, I do need to get wrapped up. So let's get this finished. Not playing for the event. Well, we know we're going to get a major jihad, aren't we? So is it a playable non-use event? No. Is a major jihad success at poor possible? It is. In Syria, they've got 5 more cells and troops. There's the other chart. Okay, they've got 5 more cells than troops. So this is a 2 ops. However, they've got 3 reserves. So they're going to do a major jihad attempt in Syria. They're going to use one of the reserves to max it out. There's no Baziz regime. All the cells go active. Let me do that. All cells are active. All 5 of them. Got training camps. I've got reaction -2. That's just really good. I mean, it's got to be -2 for every roll. I mean, it does say that. Because we are rolling. We're having 3 attempts. We're rolling 3 dice. And that -2 is going to affect every one of them, isn't it? Seems very strong. When you consider that we always only roll 1 dice. But I can't see how you can look at it differently, though. I can't see how you could look at this and say it should only get -2 for one of the die rolls. Give me a second. Let's look back again on awakening markers. Right, hang on. Well, there's a wee example here. Zoom out a little bit, you know? And we're talking about each awakening marker as 1, and each reaction marker subtracts 1 to any war about. Well, you've got to remember, if we've got a +1 awakening marker there, Grant, that's going to add +1 to other die rolls, isn't it? So that does seem like, fair enough. There's an example. If Pakistan has 2 awakening and 1 reaction marker, the net effect is that the US player would have a +1 on all War of Ideas rolls, and the jihadist would have a +1, not a -1, on all jihad rolls. So the fact that the jihadist player is probably rolling 2 or 3 dice, I could maybe sometimes be rolling 1, and the US player's only rolling 1, it balances out with the fact that awakening markers are going to... If this is a +2 here right now, then they're having to roll 1s, aren't they? Yeah, 2s or higher are no good. So it works both ways. So fair enough. Well, I mean, it's horrible, but... Okay, so they're going to roll 3 dice. 3 attempts, they need 2 successes. And they're getting a -2 to each of these dice. And they need a 3 or less. A 3 or less with -2. I'm not going to try and... It's a 5. I think it's only 6 that's our failures. Is that right? That will be, Grant. So only 6s are failures. So we need 2 6s. And this for us, from our side of it. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Here we go. Oh, I tell you what, we got 1. Right, so remember they all get -2, so that becomes a 4. And these become 2s. So 2 successes, 1 failure. Right, so 1 failure, let's sort that out. That goes back to the track. So 2 successes. Let's get my play here. So governance from poor to Islamist rule, alignment to adversary. So that goes to Islamist rule. Remove all regime change, none of that. Baziz regime, none of that. Aid markers. Then we add resources to funding. Their funding's at 9. If there's any troops, my prestige would go to 1. Maybe that's the bit that's putting me off there. Troops prestige to 1. It's a bit different though. WMDs is a different thing. Okay, so that's that. Now, there's a few other things to deal with here. Well, they've just gained 2 more resources, so let's jump down there and sort that out. That stays where that is, because it was poor. It's become Islamist rule. They've just gained 2 more resources, so they're up to 3. And that computes, they've got Somalia and Syria. 1, 2, 3. So, I think the -2 reaction markers go away. Right, that's disengagement. Every time a country degrades its governance 1 level for whatever reasons, remove a reaction marker. No, remove all. 11.1.6, that's that there. A Muslim country has all of its awakening and reaction markers removed when it becomes good governance, or Islamist rule, or falls into civil war. So that's just become Islamist rule, so these 2 reaction markers go away. Now, the next thing is convergence. We've done this already. Each time a country becomes either good or Islamist rule for any reason, controlling player US if good, jihadist if Islamist rule, immediately rolls once in the random Muslim country table, places, they're going to place a reaction marker there. If that country is good, Islamist rule or civil war, they're going to place it somewhere else. Right, that table should be on the back of this. Let's go and deal with that. Yeah, this is taking up a bit more time than I wanted to. But so we're going to roll in the random Muslim country table, which is that one, and we might move to that one. So we're rolling a tan dice and a black dice. Let's just roll the dice first, Grant. See what happens. Right, 6 and the 6. Right. So 6 in the tan. And 6 in, right, Pakistan. So can we place a reaction marker in Pakistan? Maybe. So looking at convergence, I think it can. It's not really what I want to see, but I think it can. It's not good. The country's not good. It's not Islamist rule, so that would stop it. If that country's good, Islamist rule, civil war, and regime change doesn't appear to matter, that's fine. Remember, they can't have them in good, Islamist rule, or civil war. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Okay. So that's that bit, and then the final thing is there's 2 WMDs there, so Syria, this might be at the beginning of the rules. What's changed? Where's Syria? Syria begins the game as a Shia mixed Muslim country with WMD capability, 2 WMD markers. Of the 3 remaining WMD markers, 2 should be set up in Syria space and 1 in Iran. These WMDs are unavailable until the trade embargo. NPT safeguards ignored. Strike Eagle and UNSSR events make these markers available to jihadist player or moves them out of play. Just as with Pakistan, the WMDs in these 2 countries will also become available if the country comes under Islamist rule. Okay, right, yeah, so they do. Alright, so we get the 2 WMDs. This is well read on there. I was going to stop because I thought it needed an event or something. So they're going to come across as well, and right, hang on. I'm going to have to mix up another bunch of plots. So that, I want to say that's us back up to 4 WMDs, isn't it? Great. Right, okay. So I've given them a wee shuffle about there, so let me set them up back in the available plots. Okay, so 10 more plots back, and 4 of which are WMDs. Yeah, great. Okay, so that's Syria gone. Some up back up to 3 points. Again, no, they need another 3. They've still got a sell in Iraq. Yeah, it'd be good. Well, and there's a reaction marker in Iraq as well. Just be good if I could, I don't know, stop all this nonsense for a bit. I don't know how to. Okay, we've got 2 cards played there. This was not played for event, and this was played for event, but they're both going discard pile anyway. So the Jadis player has 1 card left. We've got 1 card at a bow scare left, which I think I might well play now. Means putting that troop back off map, but it's only going to be briefly off map to get 2 prestige up to 3, and then, you know, we're sitting with some nice, we could get some disrupt action going there with a bit of luck, and get up to medium, and then maybe start. Yeah, but you've got this as well, Grant. Oh God, there's just never a break. I never get any time to do what I want to do myself. Okay, well, I came back there. I'm glad I came back to do that other part tonight, because my head was down a little bit, and I'm not sure it's been lifted fully, but and it's not that I'm not enjoying the gameplay. I think you know what I mean. I'm struggling with. I'm just not getting a chance to do things. I mean, I'm still having to do things to keep in the game. I mean, maybe that's how it should be, but yeah, okay. Right, well, we'll come back tomorrow with a fresh head and see what we can do. Okay, cheers.